Good morning, everyone. I'm Tammy Hannock of Dynamic FX Fitness, and I'm here today with a new episode of Treats and Cheats. Now, some of you may have never seen Treats and Cheats before. I started this little web series as a way to be able to show some of my clients and my friends some of the tricks that I've learned over time to indulge my cravings and need for that little bit of indulgence without breaking the bank when it comes to following a specific diet plan that you're on, and just looking for healthier ways to change up a favorite recipe of yours, but looking for healthier ingredients, etc., etc. So today, I feel like baking. Now I know many of you are like, I don't bake. If you do not bake, this is the most easy cookie recipe I can ever imagine. I made it this morning. It is fantastic, and I saved enough ingredients to make another batch for you right now. This has been all over the internet. It's one of my favorite recipes, and I first came across it from Toscarino, who is the author of the Eat Clean Diet series, and I just love her. It's called a 2-ingredient cookie. That's all you need. And what I love most about it is there's hardly any measuring. And like I said, there's only 2 ingredients. You can add a couple more, and I'm going to show you how to dress it up in just a minute. But I'm going to show you how fast it is to make this recipe, because we're going to make it right now. How many of you have bananas that are always sitting around like this? Once a week I go and buy bananas, and I love them when they're green or they're just freshly yellow, but within a day or two, they start to look like this, which means then I start to get fruit flies, or then I'm trying to find all kinds of ways to be able to use these bananas up. Now, this recipe takes 2 bananas, so I saved 2 just for you. So they're nice and soft right now. They need to be, because we're gonna mash them. All right, now you can mash it with a fork, or if you have a handy dandy potato masher like this, that's my oven that's telling me that I'm preheated. If you have one of these potato mashers, you can see how fast I can kind of pulverize these ripe bananas into a nice, soft mess, right? Now, the other ingredient this cookie takes is a cup of oats. So I like to use an old-fashioned oat. Don't try to stay away from the instant oats just because of the way they're stripped and processed, and some of the fiber and so forth has been removed for it. But I really like to use an old-fashioned oat. I dump a cup of the oats in there, and all I do is stir. All right, so this is the basis of this cookie. 2 bananas, a cup of oats. Easy, right? Now, what I discovered this morning are there are 1,000,003 ways I could come up with to customize this cookie recipe to make it really, really tasty. One of the things that I discovered that I liked this morning was adding a little bit of chopped pecans and a little bit of craisins, because I like craisins a whole lot. If you don't like cranberries, you can certainly use regular raisins. And if you're someone who needs a chocolate fix, guess what? You can get some kind of little dark mini chocolate chip and add those into it as well. So now maybe you've made it a 3-ingredient cookie, or maybe a 4-ingredient cookie, which is what mine are going to become right now. So I already have my cranberries measured out and my chopped pecans. I stir it all up, and now it's ready to go. That's one of the fastest cookie recipes I have ever made, because a lot of you know that I am a huge cookie baker when it comes to Christmas time, and I haven't really baked all summer because I've been busy, like the rest of us. But I'm in the mood for something like this, and this is going to fulfill that sweet craving. So let me show you how I finished up my cookie, just to give it a little bit of an extra flair. All right. I found this amazing coconut oil spray at Trader Joe's. I'm hooked on coconut oil when I cook now and when I stir fry things, but they also make it in a spray version. So I'm just going to spray my pan really quick. Now, I did find out this morning that these things don't scoop very well. If you have a cookie scoop like I do, they really don't work that good when it comes to this. So I'm just going to use a teaspoon and kind of push them onto my cookie sheet. Now, this recipe makes about 12 cookies, if you measure it out right. And what I like about that is that it is so easy for you to figure out exactly how many calories you've eaten. Because essentially, if you eat 6 cookies, which you can, it's 1 banana and a half a cup of oats. Many of you eat that for breakfast, right? If you make a banana oatmeal, you might use half a cup of oats with water and cut up a banana in there, add a little cinnamon or a little spice. And many of you are doing that already. This is just a different way, a very portable way, to eat your oatmeal. So I actually saved 6 cookies that I made this morning to show you what a full serving could look like if you are really hungry and really needing a snack. This is a great snack to have, right? You might want to stay away from the chocolate a little bit. Now again, if you measure out your nuts, today I had about 4 tablespoons of pecans, which is about a 1/4 cup. You have to be careful with nuts because those can really rack up the calories. So you might want to cut back on the nuts a little bit. And I had a little less than 1/3 of a cup of the craisins. How am I doing so far? Almost there. Now, what I did to finish these cookies off is I just dusted them with a little bit of pumpkin pie spice. And then I added a little bit of cinnamon on top of that. Threw them in the oven. They take about 15 to 20 minutes to bake. Not long at all. And when they come out, they're nice and warm. If it's one of those things that you just need a little comfort food in the afternoon with a cup of tea, this is such a good one. Now, these cookies don't spread, so this is a nice little cookie sheet that I have. 8. And there's my, I think this one actually made, must have been Big Bananas, actually made about 14 because I made some of them a little small. But it's as simple as that, right? What an easy cookie to make that's going to keep you well within the guidelines of eating clean, right? So I'm going to sprinkle them a little bit, little flash of cinnamon on top. I like pumpkin pie spice because I like the cloves and the nutmegs and all that. And you know, most of you know that I like most of my spices to come from Penzeys down in the Strip. You can also order them online, but I love to go to the store. And voila! 2 ingredient cookies that I turned into 4. You could turn it into 3 with your chocolate chips if that's what you wanted. But what a delicious way to use up your old bananas that otherwise just get tossed in the trash, right? Now remember, when I do things like this is a way to make my life a whole lot simpler. And it works for me. And that's what I call the Hannock dynamic. I'll see you next time.